Yes, hi, hello, welcome to Jump Cuts. Today, as we are streaming this, is Sunday, November 17th, 2024. I'm your host and master of ceremony, Tanner Richard Kraft, and today for Jump Cuts, I am joined by my good friend.
It's me, Joseph Vrenick.
Yes,
How
sir.
is everybody?
Yes, sir. Let's hope we get a lively crowd. Doesn't look like too many people are in here yet, but I'm sure that'll change soon enough.
Right.
Not a ton of news these past 2 weeks, at least not enough that I thought was super interesting to talk about. But we do have this little nugget. Let's just start out with the I'll say it, a bit of sad news. I like to get the sad stuff out of the way. We had an absolute legend pass away just this week. One of the maybe the most famous horror actors ever, known for his work in both the Candyman franchise and the Final Destination franchise. Tony Todd passed away this week at age 69. That one's a real bummer. Joe, how do you feel about this one? Damn, you look so sad. Are you gonna cry?
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Okay, yes, we can get out of the way. 69, nice. There, get it out of our system. Get it out of our system. We can acknowledge that it's the sex number, but let's get it out of our system.
Okay, 69, nice. Okay, it's out of my system. This was kind of a shocking bit of news to me. I found out about Tony Todd's passing at randomly. We had Greg Sestero at our Alamo Draft House here. I was chilling with him out in the lobby of the Alamo Draft House, and we were talking Tony Todd. It shocked my boss Mark when I brought it up to him. He no joke looked at me and was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! You're fucking with me, aren't you?"
So you broke the news to your boss. Damn.
Yeah, it was. No, it's sad. Because he was a legit good actor. Like not just as Candyman, but like in all the other stuff he's been in. Supposedly very fun to work with. I never got to work with him, but I was following him on Twitter. Well, no, I was following him on Twitter, and he followed me on Twitter. And he liked
Tony
my
Todd
tweet.
Followed you on Twitter?
Yeah, Tony Todd followed me on Twitter, and when I realized that Tony Todd was following me on Twitter, I was like, I didn't realize this until now, but Tony Todd is following me on Twitter. I don't know why, but it's cool. Hi, Tony. I love your work. He liked the tweet. And I guess you could also blame me for his passing, because the day before he passed away, I deleted Twitter.
It's all your fucking fault, man. What the hell? You're disgusting. How dare you?
I know.
So I've had the very good fortune to meet Tony Todd.
Nice guy.
Oh yes, very nice. But it was in the context of a Q&A session. It was in the context of a Q&A session. He starred in a local film called All Gone Wrong. He was a supporting actor in it, and when it had its St. Louis premiere, I went to the premiere of it, and he was there, and we had a bit of a Q&A session afterwards. I asked him a question about, like, I think my question was based around, what is it like to prepare for a role like this? Especially in a smaller movie like this, when, your mere presence is probably going to get a lot of attention. Does that change things? And he gave me a very thoughtful answer. I wish it was videoed, because I would love to watch that back. But Tony Todd, just absolute legend of the game. His passing would be sort of a mess. Obviously, people know him for Candyman, but you know what? Awesome presence in the Final Destination movies, playing essentially death. I loved. I'm a fan of the Final Destination movies. They're not quite Saw level for me, but they have the same kind of like contrived stupidity that I love about the Saw movies. And Tony Todd was a big presence in those. I mean, he was the connective tissue between all the movies.
Yep.
Except, is he in the bad fourth one that's in 3D? I can't remember. I don't think he's in that one.
I believe he is in that one.
He
I think
is
he's in
that
all of them.
Okay, he's either in all of them but that one, or just in all of them.
He's also a really good Venom.
Yes, he just last year he played Venom in the new Spider-Man game, and I had some issues with how they handled Venom in that game. His performance was not one of them. He was fantastic.
I was gonna say what you want about what of their portrayal as Venom. I have my issues with it too. It's not perfect. Yeah, Tony Todd's not fucking one of those issues.
Yeah, and I figured that, there were rumors that a Venom game was in development, or that Venom would return in a sequel. I guess they have to recast, which sucks. Tony Todd, just an absolute legend. Yep. I also just want to point out that I can see TLN Craft, who I can only assume is my mother, highlighted her message that says "best podcast out there." Thanks, Mom. My mom is also one of our top tier Patreon supporters, so I'll be shouting her out again later. But yeah, it looks like we got a bit of a chat going, which is good. I was worried that nobody was going to tune in, but we got a crowd, which good. Do. Let's get right into the real news. Not just talking about death, but arguably something equally depressing, which is that we have our first image from the live action Lilo and Stitch movie. Let me just get this out of the way. Stitch's design translates into live action way better than I thought it would. He looks fine, but my issue with this is my same issue with all of these. Why? What's the point? Some of these have been great. Don't get me wrong. The Jungle Book remake was great. I thought the Cinderella remake was straight up better. Peach Dragon was also very good. But and there's value. Sorry. Someone in the chat, Red Sky, just said, "Oh man, I thought the bad news was Trump's re-election." It was the bad news, but
I was gonna make that joke too.
What? No, I don't want to talk about that. Home Alone 2 star Donald Trump has been elected to a second presidential term. No. Lilo and Stitch, the live action thing. Joe, I imagine you have a similar take, probably even more negative though.
For the most part, yeah. Maybe not more negative, but I think the problem in particular with a Lilo and Stitch live action remake for me in particular is it's trying to capture nostalgia for the movie. You want to know something about me, Tanner?
You don't care about Lilo and Stitch, huh?
I did not grow up with Lilo and Stitch. I think it's a fine movie. I did eventually see it. But it was not a childhood staple. And I was the perfect age for... I remember when that came out in theaters. I was the perfect age for it. But no, I never saw it in theaters, never rented the DVD. I was curious about it, but we just never had any interest to see it. So I have zero nostalgia for Lilo and Stitch. I like the movie. I think it's pretty good. Despite Mark saying doesn't matter, you're fired. The reason why he likes that movie is because it references Elvis.
Your boss and his Elvis obsession, man. It's crazy.
He loves his Elvis. And he gives me shit all the time for not only liking the Beatles more, but the fact that I like Bob Dylan and I want the Complete Unknown poster.
Okay. I feel like these guys aren't in competition. Elvis is a different era. Elvis was pre-Beatles, whatever.
Well, listen, Elvis is the king. Elvis is the king. No one's going to take that from him.
Yeah, the king of stealing from black culture. I agree.
Jesus Christ, Tanner.
Someone had to say
it. This is true. It's like the 69 joke all over again. But yeah, no, I have no nostalgia for Lilo and Stitch, so them trying to capitalize on nostalgia for this movie is really not going to work for me. So I just look at this live action Lilo and Stitch image. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up. Jimmy, can we pull that up right now?
Jimmy, look at the size of that gorilla.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. It looks like a teddy bear, and I'm like, okay, it looks like a teddy bear. I don't know if the movie's gonna be any good or not, though. I genuinely just do not care. We don't need it, but since we're getting it, it looks fine. Like I just genuinely don't care.
Let the record show that TLN Craft, my mom, just gifted a sub to the channel. Well, thank you, TLN Craft. That's giving us money. I don't know how much of that we get. I don't know how the payout system of Twitch works. I set up the tax information earlier this year, so. But thank you, Mom. But I get it. I grew up with Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, if memory serves me correctly, is the first movie I ever saw in theaters. I have one of my earliest memories is seeing like that shot from the beginning of the movie where like the creator gets is on trial,
right,
in a theater. That is one of my earliest memories. I don't think I saw it with my family. I think I saw it on a play date or something. My memory is being in the backseat of the car playing with an Etch-a-Sketch on the way to a theater. I would have been like 4. So, and my mom also subscribed to herself at tier 1. That is, again, more money in our pocket. Thank you, Mom. We love the support. I'm not as cynical on the live action stuff. Like, I think the Lion King stuff's really bad, but at least Lilo and Stitch, that is mostly I don't know if you can make it better, but I'm sure it will be entertaining enough, and there might be some value in seeing the literal Stitch run around in what is the quote-unquote real world. I imagine that this will be like, honestly, what most of the live action Disney remakes are. Fine, whatever. Like Aladdin was fine, you know. Most of these were fine. Very rarely are they exceptionally bad. Very rarely are they exceptionally great. They're just fine.
Right. Also, I think I found the answer as to why I probably didn't see Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, well, why is that?
It's because the live action Scooby-Doo 2, like the live action Scooby-Doo movie came out that summer.
That's what you were all about.
I was like, I want to see Spider-Man, I want to see Star Wars, and I want to see Scooby-Doo this summer. I wasn't maybe that specific, but I knew they were coming out, and I knew I wanted to see those. And the best one out of all of those movies, it's definitely Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Scooby-Doo, flawed movie, but man, oh man, it's a billion times better than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I love Lilo and Stitch. It's great. I'm sure this live action remake will be fine. I think this is coming out next year.
I believe it is. Yeah,
I think it's coming out in May.
I was gonna say, I think they announced that at like D23.
Let me double check. It's oh good, a bunch of fake AI created. May 23rd. Okay. Sorry, Zach Galifianakis is in this? Oh, that's interesting.
What?
The same guy. They have the same voice actor who voiced Stitch originally.
That I believe I do remember.
Also, the guy who directed Lilo and Stitch.
Huh.
Who's directing this live action remake? It's
Dean Fleischer Camp.
Wait, the Marcel guy is directing this?
Oh no!
Wait, hold on.
They got a good director.
That could be interesting. If it's anything like Marcel,
Ears open,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Chris Sanders doesn't just voice Stitch. He created Stitch. So if he's involved, that's interesting. Who wrote the remake?
Courtney B. Vance is playing Cobra Bubbles.
I'm sorry, one of the...
But Ving Rhames is still alive! He's right there!
Yeah, well...
I guess he's busy making Arby's commercials.
Lilo and Stitch, yeah. We have the meats. You know, I think there's like a thing in his contract for Mission Impossible that says he gets to sit down most of the time and he gets to wear his hats.
Like, more than fair. It's Ving Rhames.
Apparently him and Tom Cruise are like close friends. I mean, Tom Cruise is apparently close friends with most people he's worked with, but
right.
Except Brad Pitt. Famously, him and Brad Pitt don't get along that well. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Lilo and Stitch remake, we got the first image of it. It might be good. It might be bad. Someone in the commercial saying, wait, is that his voice on the Arby's commercials? Yes, TLN Craft, my mom. Ving Rhames is the we have the meats guy. That is him. That is Ving Rhames. Because he's an absolute legend of the game. All right. Well, I guess
I think we spent enough time talking
about Lilo and Stitch. Let's move on to our next piece of news, which we're still sticking with Disney here, which is that the 2026 Star Wars movie, which was allegedly the one that was going to feature the return of Daisy Ridley, has been pulled from the release schedule. This is following the news a couple of weeks ago that it lost its writer. Joe, I mostly put this on here so we can talk about a very specific thing. Are we like ever going to see a real Star Wars movie again? And I say real Star Wars movie because I'm going to be honest, I don't think the Mandalorian Grogu movie should count. That's a glorified TV movie that's getting a theatrical release. Or like, how the fuck have they forgotten how to make Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Honestly, more than Marvel, I think I'm more sick of fucking Star Wars. It doesn't help that the fan base is a genuine hodgepodge of like some of the biggest pieces of shit on the planet.
You're right, because I made a tweet. Sorry, real quick. I know you hate political talk, but I just want to say, like the day after Donald Trump got elected, or I think maybe on election night, I made a tweet that said somehow this is the Last Jedi's fault. And by that, I specifically meant the response to The Last Jedi from all those internet psychopaths. That's somehow responsible for the second Trump presidency.
Yeah. I guess while we're here and I'm shitting on Star Wars fans, you all suck. I fucking hate you. Go to hell, you pieces of shit.
There are a lot of demented Star Wars fans.
There's some good ones out there. There's very fine people on both sides.
When the Star Wars fans are coming over the border, they're bringing spice, they're bringing crime, they're bringing droids, and some, I assume, are good people.
All right, but not addressing the Star Wars fans that are like legit good people. I'm talking about the ones that bullied Kelly Marie Tran off of the internet. Same with Daisy Ridley. They're probably going to do the same thing for that Skeleton Crew cast. Like they're children. Oh, yeah,
that's coming out this
year. They are children, assholes.
That's coming out
this
year.
Fuck you.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I think that the most amazing thing Disney has done with Star Wars is that I just don't really care about it anymore. Like, I understand, like, people say they've oversaturated Marvel, and that's probably true. However, that never bothered me, because coming from a comic background, comics were always just an inherently oversaturated thing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of part of the shtick with comics. With Star Wars was a special thing. And now there's just so much Star Wars, and I just... Honestly, I used to love Star Wars, and now it's like I just don't care that much anymore, and that sucks.
Yeah, I especially don't fucking care anymore. Like, I enjoy them for what they are. Honestly, I'm gonna have the hottest take here. I think Star Wars would have been a billion times better if it was just one solo movie from 1977 that everybody loved, and nothing else came after that. I think the world would be a significantly better place if Star Wars was just the movie from 1977.
Number one, Ronald Reagan never gets elected president in that timeline.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, I generally agree. I'm still like, if Star Wars ever truly comes back, and I guess I'm going to move a story I had set for later in the docket to now, we'll talk about this. They're apparently making a new trilogy, and apparently this trilogy will be episodes 10, 11, and 12. With the creative lead being Simon Kinberg. And for the audience back home that doesn't know who Simon Kinberg is, that's the guy that somehow screwed up adapting the Dark Phoenix storyline from the X-Men comics twice. He got a chance to do it a second time, and he fucked it up again. Now, I will say he is also I believe, a co-creator of Star Wars Rebels, which is a very good show. I don't know if Joe's seen that. Probably not. You don't really like the cartoons. But
Yeah, I don't give a shit about anything animated.
Rebels is a good show, and Simon Kinberg wrote some of the best episodes of that show. Simon Kinberg. Red Sky in the chat said, stop making Star Wars movies, stop electing Donald Trump. Fair enough. But Simon Kinberg, I'll give them this. If it's one guy writing all three movies, that immediately solves one of the big problems with the sequel trilogy, which is clearly for the original trilogy, the flying by the seat of their pants method worked. It clearly, there's an incoherence in the sequel trilogy, which is impressive considering Abrams made fucking two of them, but his two Star Wars movies are like incoherent with one another. Incongruent is maybe a better word. If Kinberg is writing all of them, that's probably a good thing. Not necessarily Kinberg specifically, but if it is one guy writing all of them, that'll probably fix some problems that the sequel trilogy had.
Yeah, there could at least be a plan there, which is better than, oh, we're gonna have one guy start this and then everyone else can kind of just do their own thing.
Which, for the record, to be fair, almost did work. The first two sequel movies are good.
Yeah. Like, say what you want about Force Awakens, it has its weaker moments. It's still a fucking good movie. It's just The Last Jedi blows those movies right out of the fucking water.
And The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie to come out in, well, since it's been 44 years, the last 43 years. It's the best Star Wars movie since Empire for me.
Best movie since 1977.
You like it more than Empire?
I have the hot take of, I like Empire, I don't love it. I think it might be one of the most overhyped movies ever made.
I mean, I love Empire, obviously. At this point, it's so nostalgia tied for me, though. I think it'd be impossible for me to untangle it from that. Which makes the fact that The Last Jedi, a movie I watched as an adult, granted I was 19, so I was essentially still a baby, but still, as an adult, to really match it for me, all the more impressive. And Last Jedi has just improved in my mind as the years go on. Like, I remember when it first came out and I said some shit like, well, the main plot's really good, but I don't like the Casino Planet stuff, and I don't like the ship stuff. And now I'm like, you know what? No, fuck that. I love all of it. All of it is awesome.
Yeah. Because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, you can say the casino stuff is dumb, but at the end of the day, Star Wars is fucking stupid.
Yeah, Star Wars is dumb. I say that with love in my heart. Like, with love in my heart, Star Wars is dumb.
I say Star Wars is stupid like I hate it. I should clarify. I used to really love Star Wars. I still like Star Wars. I love that original trilogy. One movie far more so than the other. I have the hot take that A New Hope is not only the best Star Wars movie, but it may be one of the greatest movies ever made.
Well, aside from Ewok Adventure.
Yeah. I also really like The Phantom Menace, but that's just me.
I'm a Revenge of the Sith guy, but I respect the Phantom Menace people. And you know what? Revenge of the Sith guy, Phantom Menace guy, we can shake hands and both agree Attack of the Clones fucking sucks.
Damn right. I think a lot of my love for Phantom Menace, though, is because that was the first movie I genuinely remember seeing in the theater. And I had all the fucking toys for it.
I watched Revenge of the Sith in theaters. Well, I watched it in theaters. What happened is I fell asleep after the first 15 minutes, and I was very upset when the movie ended and my dad didn't wake me up. I was very mad. I remember being very upset. I didn't get to watch it until, like, I think a year or two later when I got access to the DVD, I think, is when I finally got to watch episode 3 proper.
Nice.
Um,
But back to Simon Kinberg here, quick. I'm gonna get us back to topic. Honestly, let him cook for a while. Don't release anything. In fact, stop making Star Wars stuff for a while. Let us fucking
hold on. Let Andor season 2 come out. Then stop making Star Wars stuff for a while.
I was gonna say, let it come out. Stop making Star Wars stuff for a while. Let us miss Star Wars. And then let Kinberg cook. Let him come up with his ideas. Let him write that first script. After a while, let him make it. Maybe give him a co-writer, because honestly, I don't hate Simon Kinberg. He could use some help. Like, give him at least one co-writer. Let them iron out the details.
I agree. You know what?
And then
they should bring in Bryan Singer.
No, they should not.
They should absolutely not do that.
And then even hotter take. Just start from fucking scratch. We don't need TIE fighters. We don't need X-Wings. We don't need the Jedi. We don't need the Skywalkers. We don't even need Rey. Just do something new. Show us it is a galaxy far, far away. And we've just focused so heavily on one specific subsection of the Star Wars universe. What haven't we seen that's out in this galaxy far, far away? Show us that.
The suburbs, according to Skeleton Crew, anyway.
Show us the suburbs equivalent of Star Wars.
That's what the Skeleton Crew is going to do. Did you see the trailer?
I haven't, no.
No, the opening shot is like it fucking felt like it was pulled out of E.T., except it was like a little Greedo riding a bike. It was fucking crazy. It was very surreal seeing suburbs in Star Wars. It short-circuited my brain. I was like, that's not right. That's incorrect.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Star Wars shouldn't have subdivisions. This feels wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, that's my take on the whole thing. Just let Kinberg cook, let us miss Star Wars, and then just do something new.
Yeah. For what it's worth, apparently this next saga, this next step in the Star Wars franchise is apparently not going to be part of the Skywalker saga, though Daisy Ridley's Rey might show up. I don't know.
Okay.
Which makes me... Does this mean that the reason the 2026 Daisy Ridley movie got pulled off the schedule is because they're rolling that into this trilogy, or is that a different thing? Or I don't fucking know anymore.
Who knows, and who really cares, honestly?
Bob Iger.
I guess so. Also, if they're gonna bring back Hutts, don't make them those CGI abominations like in the Book of Boba Fett. Make them puppets again.
I will give the sequels this. They were usually pretty good about using puppets in places.
Yeah. Remember puppets in Star Wars? I miss puppets.
I miss Jim Henson.
I miss Jim Henson, too.
I think he died before I was born.
He definitely died before either of us were born. He died in like 1990.
Yeah, I miss him still. All right, well, let's move on to maybe positive news. Out of the whole trailer, there's quite a few trailers on our docket today. The first of which appears to be a Paramount Plus original picture, Dear Santa. The synopsis of which is that a kid writes a letter to Santa Claus, but he's an idiot that can't spell, and instead summons Satan by accident. I mean, that's the joke. They don't call him an idiot in the trailer, but they almost do.
Oh my god. It just sounds so stupid hearing it said out loud.
Yeah,
twice.
but like sometimes really stupid concepts work, and unlike a lot of other people, I still kind of like Jack Black. Chad's accusing me of dunking on dyslexics. I have no quarrel with dyslexia. Wait, no, I have quarrel with the disorder. I do not have quarrel with people with the disorder.
I'm glad you clarified.
I'm not pro dyslexia. Should come out. I think children should have learning disabilities. coming out as pro learning disability, a real banger political
An
position.
autistic man celebrates learning disabilities.
Point being, I watched this trailer a little bit before showtime. Joe, I imagine you might not agree with me, but you know what? I thought this looked fun. I think this looks enjoyable enough.
Oh God.
If you disagree, that's fine. But I just kind of I was chuckling through the trailer. I was like, oh, this is cute.
Well, clearly one of the Farrelly brothers is very much still stuck in the 90s when they peaked.
Oh, it is very 90s core. Do not get me wrong.
It feels like, honestly, it feels like one of those fake trailers from specifically the one with Jack Black in Tropic Thunder.
You know what?
It feels like the fatties.
Speaking of learning disabilities, is this directed by the Farrelly brothers, one that directed the Down syndrome basketball movie we saw in theaters?
It is the last
Bobby.
movie I saw.
Good.
The last movie I saw in the Chesterfield Mall AMC before that closed.
This is his first movie since Champions. God bless.
But yeah, no. It looks borderline unwatchable. I could kind of tell because it has the same trailer song that every shitty comedy movie has. It has Nothing But a Good Time by Poison playing in it.
Okay, but oh no, hold on, we'll get to this later. One of the trailers we're talking about today has by far the funniest epic slow down pop song cover I've seen in a movie trailer yet. I think you know which one I'm talking about, but don't spoil it.
I don't, but okay.
I don't know. I like Jack Black still. Maybe I just want to like him so bad, despite the fact he seemingly threw Kyle Gass under the bus, if only because people used to positively compare me to Jack Black, and I would like that to still be a good thing. So, yeah. I don't know. It looks fine. It looks cute. I chuckled.
I didn't. I was like, oh, this looks... I'll give it this. The most positive thing that I can say about it is it looks more watchable than the Ben Stiller Christmas comedy that's also coming out this year called Nutcrackers,
which is like Ben Stiller's first movie in a long time.
I was gonna say he hasn't really done anything in a hot second.
When was the last time I saw him? Was it Two-Lander?
I don't think it's been that long.
I haven't seen most of this. I guess this is like his first real movie since the Meyerowitz stories.
Yeah, I do remember the Meyerowitz story.
He was in Hubie Halloween, I guess. He played Guy in a movie called Lockdown.
Never heard of it.
The Doug Liman movie? Starring Chiwetel Ejiofor. Starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Anne Hathaway, and Sonic.
Oh, okay. Nope, now I know what this is.
Sonic!
It was a COVID movie.
Wait, starring Sonic? And Sonic plays a character named Hedgehog? Wait, what the fuck? Sonic is real?
I guess.
All right, we got to move on from this topic before it breaks me.
We do. We did mention Ben Stiller, and I did see that on the topic.
We will get to that.
All right.
Let's get to the first piece of, I think you and I can both agree, unambiguously positive news we have today. The 2025 Oscars have a host, and it's Conan O'Brien. How is this taking this long? How is it taking so long for O'Brien to host the Oscars?
Yeah, I can agree that this is actually a decent bit of news. Because I still find Conan relatively funny. I'm glad that it's not Kimmel again. I think it was the year after the Will Smith slap, or it was the year of the Will Smith slap. He did a decent job of hosting. There was one year that I know that I was like, yeah, no, he did a good job.
Kimmel?
Yeah, Kimmel.
Kimmel's just like, he's a fine host. His jokes aren't that great, but he steadies the ship. You know, he doesn't, it's not a train wreck. Like, remember that year when it was Amy Schumer and those two other people?
Yeah, it was Wanda Sykes, Regina King, and Amy Schumer. And then their in memoriam section literally focused on the people dancing more so than the people who died.
Yeah, that was a train wreck. Conan O'Brien, probably going to be the best host since Seth MacFarlane. Because I thought Seth MacFarlane was an excellent Oscars host. Mostly because Seth MacFarlane likes movies.
Yeah. You and me are the only people that feel that way, though, Tanner. No one really liked Seth MacFarlane.
I get it.
As a host.
Seth MacFarlane's an easy dunk, but like, remember he had a fucking Sound of Music joke when he hosted. It was really funny.
He did. It was very funny.
Especially because there was clearly a person that was sitting in front of where the Nazi looking character ran in who clearly did not understand what the joke was. Because they looked so fucking confused.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. But also keep in mind, remember who the host before that was? It was Anne Hathaway and James Franco.
Oh yeah,
it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
But yeah, O'Brien, he loves movies. He himself is a great writer, and he's a world-class presenter. I can't believe it has taken this long for Conan O'Brien to host the Oscars. Unambiguously great news. I legitimately can't wait to actually watch the Oscars this time, beyond just my typical prediction game I like doing. Which, by the way, my Oscars party this year, Joe, I'm thinking I'm going to like hand out ballots for everyone to fill out before the show starts. And the person who gets the closest to winning, I think we're going to get like a 25 Amazon gift card for them to win.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that'll be a fun little game for everyone to play. But yeah, Conan, great host, right?
Yeah, great host. I have nothing more really to say about Conan hosting. It's a good decision. He probably won't get super political, unlike another talk show host who hosted the Oscars, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, probably not. But also, if Trump's in office, there's probably going to be a few.
I think Conan is better about like not making it everything he talks about.
Yes, but I imagine it'll be brought up.
It sadly will. And
if only because Trump has historically, I don't think in the last few years, but Trump used to tweet about the Oscars. Even when he was president, he'd be tweeting about it. So like they know he watches.
Yeah.
Because Trump...
Either way, Tanner, as someone who is apolitical and hates talking about politics, I say this to my boss, Mark, all the time whenever something bad happens. Looks like I picked the wrong life to quit drinking.
Yeah, I'll say this. It's such a shame Trump wasn't given a daytime talk show host where he could gossip about celebrities, because I think that was his true calling. Remember how he wouldn't shut the fuck up about the way Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart broke up?
I vaguely, yeah.
Trump talked about that shit for 18 months. He clearly just wants to talk about celebrity gossip.
He also wants to review movies that feature Trump Tower in it.
Great movie. I saw The Tower.
The Dark Knight Rises is a wonderful movie. It's a great movie by Christopher Nolan. There's one part in particular that I really liked, and it's the part where they show Trump Tower. Amazing tower. You gotta go see the movie just for that.
Yep. I agree.
I don't know why I'm doing the peace sign. That's a Nixon thing.
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook, and I recommend The Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises is not as good as The Dark Knight, but it's still great. You know who else is still great?
Who?
Ben Stiller. Which, hey, we talked about this on the first episode of Jump Cuts, but this has been confirmed now. Ben Stiller is going to be in Happy Gilmore 2. Ben Stiller is very fucking funny in the first Happy Gilmore, and I'm curious to see how they're going to involve the nursing home nurse in Happy Gilmore 2. Honestly, I'm just really curious what the hell the plot of Happy Gilmore 2 is supposed to be, but Ben Stiller returning, thumbs up for me.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to get into my thoughts on Ben Stiller here real quick. So, Ben Stiller is a very weird personality for me, because when he's playing over the top jerks in movies or over the top idiots, that's when he's at his best. But then when he gets crazy dramatic, he's maybe one of the most pretentious celebrities. Man, oh man, he thinks he is smarter than he probably actually is. Case in point, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Tanner, I believe you like that movie. I
I
apologize.
fucking love that movie. Please just make it quick, whatever you're about to say.
I'm gonna leave it at I don't like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So him coming back to Happy Gilmore is good news to me because he gets to play that over the top jerk again. Because Ben Stiller, he's very fun when he plays over the top jerks. Because remember Happy Gilmore? White Goodman from Dodgeball is a great fucking character. Like holy shit, nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. Oh man, now I want to watch Dodgeball again. But yeah, no, I'm not entirely shocked that he's coming back for Happy Gilmore too, but it is good to hear he is coming back.
Yeah, especially because Ben Stiller doesn't do a lot nowadays.
No.
Well, I mean, that TV show Severance that people love, he created that show. So I need to watch it.
I do hear good things about Severance.
And now that I don't need to watch 7 movies a day, I can maybe watch it now. Now that you've thrown in the towel.
Yeah, I've given up.
It's funny. No, literally, if you look at my, before November, I was at 80-something movies.
Yeah, you were not, even close to making 100. And now here you are at, 130.
134. Oh, I did set this is my new record for most new movies in a year. I can maybe hit 150 this year. Now, thanks to you, Joe, because you bragged about beating me one too many times.
More than fair. I had to throw in the towel because I want to enjoy watching some of these movies.
No, I'm glad you did. Do you know how much it sucked to be like, I could go and do something, or I could go stay home and watch 3 shitty horror movies back to back to back.
Yeah.
When I was reaching the bargain bin of what Alice in Terrorland, let's see. Oh God, it's so bad. You know what's funny is that you logged that before me, even though I'm pretty sure I watched it first and I just forgot to log it.
No, you logged it first and I watched it not too long after.
Huh. Yeah. I remember at one point realizing you were copying me and I was like, this fucking guy. But
I really wanted to win.
Speaking of throwing in the towel or just at least ending things. Speaking of ending things, I'm thinking of ending things. No, I'm not. But speaking of ending things.
Not a good movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I did watch Charlie Kaufman, the animated movie he wrote this year. Orion in the Dark. It's on Netflix. Now that you have a Netflix subscription, you can watch it. It was good. I liked it. I think you would like it.
I might, but I also really did not like. I think I'm thinking of ending things.
Well, let me put it this way. It has a different director. This is the first script that Kaufman's written that he didn't direct in a while, to the benefit of the movie, I think. Right. Because that means there's something to hold back Kaufman's more off-the-wall tendencies.
Yeah. I need to go back and rewatch some Charlie Kaufman stuff. I think I might feel differently about him. But you were saying, Tanner.
Speaking of ending things, we got another trailer. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning trailer drops. And dude, we all make fun of Marvel for having a bunch of stupid callbacks to movies and a bunch of glup shittos here and there. And who the fuck gives a shit about this? And yes, that's all true. But I'm so glad that we as a people can collectively come together and say, it's okay when Mission Impossible does it. Because that's a lot of what this trailer is, and I'm 100% on board for it.
Yeah, it is absolutely 100% okay when Mission Impossible does it. Because you want to know what Mission Impossible is?
Great.
The greatest action movie series ever made.
Even the worst movie in this franchise, depending on who you ask, is either Mission Impossible 2 or 3. Which are both great movies.
3 has Philip Seymour Hoffman and some of the greatest Tom Cruise running ever.
And 2 has Tom Cruise's best hair.
I was going to say, Tom Cruise's best hair, the most dangerous stunt in any of these fucking movies.
The knife thing. Oh, yeah. God. I can't believe he demanded they use a real knife.
Really cool motorcycle action, and maybe the most over-the-top cut to title ever, where he throws the fucking sunglasses at the camera.
And also, it's a John Woo movie. I mean, Come on! This trailer looks great. This is going to be a great movie. I can tell you, man. This is going to be awesome.
I am looking forward to it. I still need to see the first part. I haven't seen the new one.
You haven't seen Dead Reckoning? I guess it was called Dead Reckoning Part 1, but I guess now we can just call it Dead Reckoning, considering this one's the final reckoning.
Yeah, I've not seen Dead Reckoning yet. And here's why. I'm hoping that there is at least some place, if not the Alamo, some place that does a double feature of the both of them.
Were you just busy when it came out?
Well, yeah, I was busy, and then also, that was the week before Barbenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the week before Barbenheimer.
All hands on deck, huh?
All hands on deck, and we did not have Mission Impossible for that long. We had it for maybe 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, because it didn't do that great, unfortunately. I mean, it still did solid numbers worldwide. If it wasn't for the fact that Tom Cruise demanded the company, and this was the correct thing to do, continue to pay the crew while they were furloughed during COVID. That was just the correct thing to do, but it also made the budget fucking skyrocket.
Right.
Probably didn't help things, and that's probably why it didn't make as money, because it still was like it still cleared $500 million.
Yeah. Either way, mad respect to Tom Cruise for paying his crew.
Yeah.
I would much rather a movie not do well and the crew still got paid.
Well, yeah, and it's not like because the crew got paid. Like, the movie did do well. It's just it had an astronomical budget because of that unfortunate thing.
Right.
This trailer looks
panorama.
Great. It looks awesome. I'm curious to see, like, what when the first Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning trailer dropped, I think pretty immediately had an idea of what the stunt was, which was the motorcycle thing. Which, by the way, I read a great thing the other day that said part of why Mission Impossible maybe underperformed compared to the previous ones is that while 5 was predicated around the hanging off the side of an airplane stunt, and the 6th one was predicated on the halo jump a little bit, they marketed around that stuff. They didn't show the whole stunt in the trailer. Right? There was stuff about the plane you didn't see in the trailer. There was stuff about the halo jump you didn't see in the trailer. Tom Cruise driving off a motorcycle, driving off a cliff on a motorcycle is legitimately impressive and awesome. You see it in the trailer and you go, yep, there it is. The actual cool set piece in that movie is the train stuff at the end, but that's harder to cut into a trailer.
Yeah.
Point being, this movie's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I know it's going to be great.
If I can't see Dead Reckoning in the theater, I will see it because I'm absolutely seeing this last one in theaters.
I'm going to do a marathon. Like, I'm going to marathon these.
I am too.
Because it's clear that it's going to tie into all of them.
Exactly. Kittredge is in these movies again. He hasn't been in a movie since the first one.
Remember the guy in the first movie who was the guy in the special lockdown room that Tom had? Oh yeah, he's gonna be in this movie. He has a beard now to indicate that time has passed.
I was gonna say I remember that being a big deal when Dead Reckoning came out too.
Well, you know what else is a big deal?
What?
Robert Pattinson, starring and Bong Joon-ho directed Mickey 17, is no longer coming out in January. It's coming out in April.
Okay.
I'm bummed I have to wait. Especially because, Joe, they announced this delay like the day after Trump won.
You know, I get it.
It was a real fucking stinker of a mood, man.
I can personally wait. I think it looks good. I think Mickey 17 looks really good. I can wait for it. Because especially if they got to do work on that thing, let them do the work.
No, of course. Except Bong Joon-ho has said the thing's been picture locked, including VFX, for months.
Fair enough. I don't know. I think it'll be fine.
Pissing me off that Warner Brothers doesn't know how to fucking market and treat the follow-up to Parasite.
Yeah.
Come the fuck on, man.
Hey, remember when they tried to persuade Christopher Nolan to come back, and he was like, "Fuck you."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of Christopher Nolan. What kind of studio gets rid of their best fucking
Well,
director?
Nolan more quit on them, but yes.
They kind of screwed him over still.
Well, yeah, they screwed him over and then Nolan quit on him. But it's so funny for them to be like, "Hey man, here's your director's fee for directing Tenet. Please come back." And Nolan's like, "Thank you for the check, my good man." Calls up Paramount. "I want Tom Holland in my next movie."
Christopher Nolan a Beatle?
John Lennon. John Lennon, what are you doing with Christopher Nolan, man?
Because that's how John Lennon introduces himself.
I'm going for Paul. I'm going for Paul.
Yeah, because that's how
Ringo.
Paul introduces.
No, Ringo's more like, "Oh, it's nice to be number 2, but I want to be number 1. I'm Ringo." No,
Ringo's not Scottish.
yeah, no. Hold on, let me go for George.
Yeah.
The quiet Beatle.
This is more Paul McCartney.
That's what I'm going for. I'm Paul McCartney.
And then he is John Lennon. I'm John Lennon.
Give me your Ringo.
I think Ringo's a little bit more like this.
Give me your George.
He's got a...
Yeah!
This is a great fucking...
Good bit.
This is a great fucking recording. This is a great fucking recording.
I legitimately don't know what George Harrison said. I know his singing voice. I've heard him sing. I don't know what he talks like. I've never heard his speaking voice.
Yeah, George Harrison, he kind of talks a little bit like Paul, but he's got a bit more of a pitch of like John Lennon.
Huh.
But he is a little bit more quiet.
Do you think they explored each other's bodies?
They probably did. We were on LSD a lot.
Well, there's a thing. Didn't like Quincy Jones say the Beatles used to like just sit in and like just I can't say because of Twitch guidelines.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think so. Also, R.I.P. Quincy Jones.
Yeah, that was on like the top of the movies thing, but I didn't put that in because I thought that was more music news than movie news. But Quincy Jones, absolute fucking legend.
Absolute legend. I've been watching Austin Powers recently.
He's in that.
No, he wrote. Well, he is in Goldmember. He wrote the opening music for it though.
Yeah.
So I guess I could also be held responsible for Quincy Jones's death for watching Austin Powers.
Stop doing things.
It's 2016 all over again. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trump won.
Oh my god!
This is all your fault.
I just need to stop existing.
Well, it sucks that Mickey 17 got delayed, but you know what doesn't suck? I've heard some of your thoughts on this trailer, but I don't know if you actually liked it or not. The Y2K trailer dropped, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. I think this looks like a lot of fun.
It looks fine. Like I'll probably see it. I think my issue with the movie, it's the same thing that you kind of said about Rachel McAdams in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Rachel Zegler looks like she knows what an iPhone is.
Okay, I know I said that about Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. In the past year, I've seen a lot of photos of the past that made me go, oh, sometimes people just look different. I don't know.
There's just something about those fucking like Gen Z kids or whatever generation they are.
The Zegler's Gen Z.
Okay. But yeah, no, there's just fucking something about those kids and like how they look. Like, I do not believe that they existed in the year 1999. They look like they belong in 2024 and they know what the Hawk Tua meme is.
Yeah, but you got those trailers, very 90s, late 90s core. Those, I'm not the trailer, the posters. Like the posters are like doing like, like a late 90s, early 2000s love to be in a white cube room.
They're a little too filtered for my...
the general aesthetic is like...
the general aesthetic is there, but they are way too filtered for like 1999, early 2000s.
Just the way that like it's just they're standing in a white cube room. Remember that? Things love to be in a white cube room.
I do remember white cube rooms.
That was like a big thing.
I remember when I'm not gonna name fucking drop him. I remember when fucking Shaggy sang "Wasn't Me" and he was in a giant cheese grater.
What?
I don't remember. Okay, so the artist I'm probably thinking about is Puff Daddy. But there was a
P. Diddy. Okay,
Yeah, I was trying to avoid saying Puff Daddy.
it's fine.
But there was like a music video that he was in where it looked like the entire background was inside of a goddamn cheese grater.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I thought this trailer looked really fun. I thought it looked funny. I dug the like weird fucking robot shit that was, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it looked fun. Rachel Zegler is also like on my I gotta see her no matter what list. I just love her as an actress so much. I'm even gonna see that Snow White movie for her. But
you might be shooting yourself in the foot there.
Probably. I think this looks like a lot of fun, and most importantly, has the funniest slowed down pop cover song ever. Taking Tub Thumping and making an epic cinematic version of it, fucking hilarious. When I realized what song it was, I lost my shit.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Speaking
Mace
of
video with Diddy is what you're talking about. Someone in the chat, my mom just pointed that out.
Okay.
I'm just pulling it up. Can't nobody hold me down? Oh, yeah, they're in a white cube.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to this.
Okay.
It looks fun. And Tub Thumping slowed down, hilarious.
We mentioned Tub Thumping being slowed down. There's gonna be a day where I go full Donovan from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when he chose poorly. It's like we're already hitting that point because have you seen I think it was like Time Cut or whatever it was called, that Netflix slasher movie?
I did. I gave it 2 stars, but I also liked it because I don't know, I was laughing the whole time. It's not good, but it is entertaining.
We are living in a world where So Yesterday by Hilary Duff is used to indicate the movie as a period piece. Once we get to that point where it's like songs from 2003 are being slowed down for epic trailers, that's when I'm just like, I'm old. I need to just die.
The day like some indie Sundance movie that A24 acquired uses Robin's Dancing on My Own as like the period piece indicator slowed down cover, I'm gonna walk off a bridge. I don't like the idea that things from my childhood are being used to indicate things are old. I don't like that. I don't like how in that Time Cut movie that the character was born after I was born. Like the whole plot of the movie is like, wow, 2003, I wasn't born yet. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. Fucking hell. The fucking thing that frustrated me from like the clip that I saw on Twitter before I deleted it, that I haven't seen the movie, I've just seen this clip.
Are you talking about the one that it does a very poor job of looking like it's in 2003?
Yes. The thing that frustrated me is like it shows like 2 kids. One of them has like a CD, like a portable CD player and an iPod. Like, and they're using both of them like they're fucking smartphones.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, like the stuff, the time period stuff is actually bad. Beyond the fact that there's a set piece that takes place in a mall. That's kind of very early 2000s core.
Yeah.
You know, but like for the most part, it did a very poor job of actually conveying it took place in the year 2003. And god damn it, I would know. I was there. Sure, I was 5, but I was there.
Sure, I was fucking 7 years old, but like I remember shit. I was able to develop memories.
7 in 03? thought you were turning 30 in a month.
Yeah, no, I turned 29 in a month. I'm almost. Don't remind me that I'm almost turning 30, Tanner.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. I thought you were about to turn 30. I thought you were already 29.
You son of a bitch! I already feel...
Wait, so you're 96, not... Or you're 95, not 94? Okay. Regardless.
Oh, year. I thought you meant age.
No, motherfucker.
That's why I let out an old man like
over
scream.
82, honey.
What is that, Sonny?
What is the prune juice?
Where's my cream of wheat?
Prune juice. Y2K trailer looks fun. I'm gonna see it in theaters. I think it looks fun.
I'll probably see it.
It looks cute, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I'm a sucker for anything 1999. I'll probably see it.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. It's so funny. Sorry, it's so funny to me.
It is very funny.
Because Tub Thumping's like, it's a meme song.
It is.
Anyway, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, and Lupita Nyong'o are all set to star in Christopher Nolan's next movie. Woo! He's building a cast all right, ain't he? All of us were on top of Matt Damon.
That's one hell of an orgy. And in a Spider-Man movie, no doubt. Jesus Christ.
Matt Damon only bottoms for Ben Affleck. What are you talking about?
But you just said.
Sorry. Okay, did you see that clip the other day where like Ben Affleck was trying to talk about how AI is bad by saying, oh, if AI was here, they would have made some dumb corporate pandering to the fans bullshit ending of Succession, where these two characters that had a bromance get gay and come together. And I'm just quote tweeting that like, which could mean nothing. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have had sex. Okay, they will deny it for the rest of their lives, but those two men have had sex with each other. I'm convinced.
Those two have explored each other.
For sure. Like, do you see that one thing where where I think someone asked Matt Damon if he's seen Ben Affleck's dick, and Matt Damon responded with seen or hold, which could mean nothing. Or like when J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting divorced, the word on the street is that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were seen with each other more. Which could mean nothing. The biggest piece of evidence, 2017, they announced that Moonlight won Best Picture instead of La La Land. There's a photo where Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they're near each other. Matt Damon is looking at the stage, shocked, right?
Yeah.
Ben's looking at Matt. They're gay. What are we talking about? Nolan's next movie. Hell of a cast, right?
Hell of a cast. Like, a really stacked cast. And yes, for those who have watched our Bomb Squad stuff, I am including Zendaya in that.
Yeah, no, you're pretty much fully come around to the Zendaya experience now.
I do like Zendaya. I do like Zendaya in the Spider-Man movies now. I think having seen all of them and having some time removed from when I first saw them, and, you know, growing the fuck up a little bit, too.
And also having me in your ear being like, it's good. Actually, it's good, actually. It's good, actually, yeah. Joe, it's good.
Listen, the biggest winner at the end of the day, it's not me for actually liking these movies now. It's not John Watts for having a new fan. It's really Tanner, at the end of the day, who's the biggest winner.
I convinced him the Ant-Man movies were good, and I've convinced him the MCU Spider-Man movies are good. What will I do next?
I don't know. You might be able to convince me on Walter Mitty. Who knows?
This is going to be a great movie, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, that's my new favorite Nolan.
Yeah,
I love Oppenheimer. God, I want to watch I need to buy the 4K of Oppenheimer. I need it.
I got the 4K of Oppenheimer for Christmas last year.
Fuck you!
But yeah, no, that was my favorite movie of last year. That is easily my favorite Best Picture winner of the last few years. Like, I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once, but Oppenheimer was more my jam.
I couldn't believe that in back-to-back years, my favorite movie of the year won Best Picture.
That is pretty insane.
Streak ending this year. I saw the TV Glow isn't even gonna get fucking nominated.
Oh, it fucking isn't.
Maybe a screenplay nom, because the screenplay branch can be a little esoteric, but...
And I'm gonna say this, like, personally, I like Furiosa more. I don't think Look Back is gonna get anything other than maybe a Best Animated thing.
No, it's not really in the running for that one, and they're not really probably... I don't see them nominating a movie under 60 minutes, even if it is a feature.
Well, even then. But if I'm thinking it's like, what is, like, the, like, actual best movie of the year, what the most important movie of the year is, it's absolutely 100%. I saw the fucking TV Glow.
Yeah, I saw the TV Glow. We're going to be talking about that one for a long time.
That movie has stuck with me since I've seen it.
Because it's great. Here's the thing. When you and I agree on what the best movie of the year is, like last year with Oppenheimer, a little rare, but our tastes overlap a fair chunk.
Yeah.
Tim and I agreeing on the best movie of this year?
That is a pretty big deal.
Tim and I's tastes like don't overlap that much at all.
I was going to say, he liked The Substance, and you thought it was just okay until, like, the last 20 minutes.
I thought it was great until the last 20 minutes.
And then here I am, like, what the fuck are you talking about, Tanner? It becomes the Toxic Avenger in the last 20 minutes.
If it was 2 hours of being the Toxic Avenger, and then it continued to be the Toxic Avenger. If it was just the Toxic Avenger, actually, it would have been great.
I fucking loved that last 20. I was losing my shit.
It's not that I didn't like it. It just felt like, why is this still going? You've made your point. I don't like it when movies beat me over the head that much.
Fair enough, I guess.
Anyway, I can't wait to see what's the dumbest movie that could win Best Picture. I can't wait to see... Yeah, Amelia Perez. That's going to be fucking great.
Oh,
and
boy.
That bullshit-ass movie gets nominated for a bunch of Oscars.
I'm going to pull up my list, and I'll make my joke here.
Well, no, because Amelia Perez is actually predicted to be nominated for stuff.
Yeah, because, it was up for stuff at, like, fucking Sundance.
It won stuff at Cannes, or Cannes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say that.
It won stuff at Raising Cane's.
No, here's my review for Amelia Perez, okay? You ready for this? What if Crash 2004, but instead of being racist, it's transphobic, and also it was a musical. And also, actually, it was still kind of racist. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? Not a half to star because the performances are mostly good, trying their best in spite of a bad script, and for some reason I dug most of the music. Even though the musical sequences themselves are about as awkwardly placed as Joker 2's. But it's not quite that bad. Can't wait for it to win at least 3 Oscars.
Jesus.
That's the kicker. I end with can't wait for it to win at least 3 Oscars.
So here's mine, where it's like I'd be upset if it won at Oscars, including Best Picture. But I guess it's a hot take. Can't wait for Dune Part 2 to win Best Picture.
Shut up. I love Dune Part 2. Leave me alone. I'm convinced you were in a bad mood when you watched it.
I wasn't. I was excited for that movie.
I refuse to believe it.
I was hyped for it. I was like, yeah, Dune 2. I liked Dune Part 1. They fumbled it.
You're the only person in the world who thinks that. No, I know people that dislike Dune Part 2. These people also disliked the first one. You're the only person I know who liked the first one, but doesn't like this one.
Yeah. And I'm not alone in disliking it, at least. Steven Tronachik has my back. And we normally don't really agree on a lot of stuff.
Steven has... So Captain America Brave New World, new trailer.
Speaking of stuff we're probably not going to agree on.
You don't care about the Marvel thing anymore. But I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited for all the Marvel movies. Here's the thing. The worst a Marvel movie has ever been is me. And here's the thing. I refuse to rewatch these movies since leaving the theater. Even the worst Marvel movies, which is Quantumania and Love and Thunder, I still left the theater being like, I think I like that. Quantumania has aged poorly in my mind. And Love and Thunder, I keep going back and thinking, no, it's just my brain keeps erasing everything except Christian Bale, so I trick myself into liking it.
Yeah.
Even the worst Marvel movies, I'm still generally entertained in the process of watching them, and this looks like no exception.
I'll probably still see it. Like
Really? I thought you were like done.
Like, I'm not going to be as invested in it. Because I'm going to be real. Deadpool and Wolverine may not have been the greatest ending,
but it's a good jumping off point.
But that was honestly, it's like, okay, the journey is over. I saw my childhood heroes come together one last time. They saved the day.
Blade said the R word for some reason.
Yeah, Blade said the R word for whatever reason. Probably because he's from 1997. They saved the day. They had their epilogue of all of the remember the good old days. It's over. It's done. I really don't need any of this anymore. I'm not going to be as emotionally invested anymore. I'll probably still see it because I can see these movies for free. I work at a movie theater.
So, like, you'll still maybe see, like, oh, Captain America, might as well. And you'll probably think, yeah, this is fine. I'm having fun. Whatever.
Yeah, they're probably just going to be, like, 3-star movies for me. Unless, here's the thing. If something truly exceptional comes out, I might get back on board.
Because, like, I think if Daniel Destin Cretton does as good a job with Spider-Man as he did with Shang-Chi, that could be really special.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if that is what wound up affecting my enjoyment of Venom 3. It's just, I'm kind of just done with the Marvel train.
No, Venom 3 was also just not that good compared to the first 2 Venom movies, which, let's be honest, the first 2 Venom movies also aren't that good, but they're very really entertaining. Venom 3 lost a lot of its entertainment factor.
It did. Man,
I'm telling you, Noel was added to that movie 6 months ago. Like, nothing's going to convince me otherwise. Noel was added to that movie this year.
Yeah, that might have been my biggest disappointment of the year, and in my opinion, it's the worst comic book movie of the year.
Hey, buddy, Craven can still come out.
Oh yeah, Craven. But here's the thing, though. I at least had some expectations for Venom. I have no expectations for fucking Craven.
I expect Craven to be stupid and fun.
Like Craven,
also, Rain in the chat. Hello, Rain.
Hello, Rain. Yeah, like Craven is probably going to be terrible and stupid. I'm basically just like, okay, I have no expectations for you. Throw at me whatever the hell you want. Venom 3, I at least kind of, like, I had an expectation going in.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued. I thought you were going to be like you were in like 2019, 2018 when you were like, no, I'm just not watching Marvel anymore. It's less you're not watching anymore and more you just, well, I don't care that much anymore, but I'll still check it out. Why not?
Yeah, they'll probably be decent time wasters to me.
They almost always are.
Now, again, should they do something extraordinarily exceptional? Like, it's got to be like one of the great, like, of the first Avengers level quality. Should they do some?
You're in good hands with the Russos.
I'm in the worst hands imaginable.
Listen, even if you hate it, even if you think it's stupid, don't lie to me. You will feel something if they put Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the same room with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Don't lie to me.
I will feel something. Because, yeah, I grew up with those two as Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Like, if I see that shit will mean something to me, man.
That will mean something. Like, hold on here. I'm going to pull this out.
Like, I'll just say this. Secret Wars can be the most dog shit ass movie ever. If Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man talk to each other, I'm going to give it 5 stars.
This is my Spider-Man, damn it.
Yeah.
If he is in a room with the fucking Wolverine, I'll feel something.
Like, listen, man, the rest of the movie could be dog shit. If those two interact, I'll be like, yeah, this was worth making.
Hell, I'll say this because they had him in the fucking artwork for it, but he wasn't in the movie. And if he's not actually fucking dead, I would be so fucking happy if this guy, played by Ben Affleck, shows up at least once.
If Ben Affleck Daredevil pulls up, I'm gonna lose my mind. Here's what I think. I think Kevin Feige's original plan was Ben Affleck Daredevil, and Ben said no, so they pivoted to Jennifer Gardner. That's what I think happened.
That's more than fair.
Well, let's get into the other Marvel trailer. The better of the two trailers, I think. I think the Thunderbolts is shaping up to be a better movie. Which is interesting because like the pre-development stuff made me think, yeah, but then these trailers come out and I'm like, okay, this looks great. Like visually, there's a strong visual language going on here. I like the character interactions. This looks like it has the sauce, if you ask me.
Yeah, it looks personally better than Captain America to me. It has a fucking color palette at least. It might not be the best color palette, but it's a color palette. They could change that though by the time the movie comes out though.
It may be, but I'm pretty confident it'll stick. I don't know. Dude, Sentry is going to be in a movie. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
And they keep calling him Bob. We know it's the Sentry. Just call him that.
You and I know that. My mom doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, casual fans don't know that.
Fair enough, I guess.
But if they do do a recut of like a bunch of classic Marvel scenes and show, no, Sentry was there all along, that'll be cool.
They pull a Spider-Man Far From Home with Mysterio.
Yeah, Sentry being there all along. Well, that was this whole thing in the comics, right? That Sentry was there all along, remember?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they edit him into the circle shot, I'm gonna bark like a seal.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I don't know.
But of course, we don't have a trailer for it yet. But personally, I'm thinking Fantastic Four. That's going to be the one to be there for next year.
Also, Lewis Pullman weirdly typecast as people named Bob.
Well, it's funny. That was supposed to be Stephen Yeun before the strike.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Which is a crazy pivot to me, because those are two very different actors in my mind. But that might just be because I've seen a lot of stuff from Yeun I'm very impressed by. You know, Space Jam. While I've seen Pullman in Top Gun Maverick, and I can't think of what else I've seen him in.
I think Lewis Pullman might be fine.
He has the look.
Yeah, he does.
I like when I saw him like taking on the bullets in the trailer, I went, that guy could be Superman. Which, speaking of, when the trailer for that drops, boy, I can't believe you live in a world where James Gunn is making a Superman movie.
Dude, I'm happy I live in a world where James Gunn's making a Superman movie.
It's gonna be awesome, dude. I can't think of a comic book director.
See that wall? You see that wall over there? I don't think there's anyone on this fucking planet more excited that James Gunn is making a fucking Superman movie.
Like, I can't imagine a more like out of all the big comic book directors, the only other one that I think could make even a like who could make a Superman movie as perfectly as Gunn? Who has that awesome action, but like just that pure ability to tap into the sincerity?
I think the only other person that could maybe make a solid, like who's made comic book movies that comes to the top of my head, the only other person who I think could make a really good Superman movie would probably be Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn?
Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, wasn't he attached to do Superman at one point?
I don't think he was. He was he was attached to X-Men 3 originally.
That's right. He was the first choice after Bryan Singer dropped out, but Matthew Vaughn didn't like how much time they were giving him, so they gave it to the Brett Ratman instead.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say Sam Raimi, but he might be too weird for Superman.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Sam Raimi's got like when you think of
he has the sincerity, but
I was gonna say when you watch the first Spider-Man movie, in particular the stuff at the Daily Bugle, you get like that 1950s kind of like fast talking newspaper talk, like that you'd see in like movies from like the 30s, 40s, like when Superman was in his golden era.
Yeah.
Like he could do it. The camera work is what would probably make it a little off.
Like Sam Raimi's perfect for Spider-Man because Spider-Man's a little weird. He's a fucking giant bug. You know, he can do Doctor Strange. That's a little weird. Sam Raimi could do Batman.
I was gonna say, he could also do Batman.
Sam Raimi, but Superman seems a little too maybe straight-laced. Then again, there's some weird Superman stuff. Like if they made a Superman movie with Mixel-Splicit as the villain, I'd like to see
Mr. Mixtaplex.
It's impossible to say, man.
I was gonna say it's impossible to pronounce even.
But if like there was a Superman movie where that guy was like the villain, oh dude, get Sam Raimi for that.
Yeah, Raimi could do that. James Gunn could do that.
But like the standard, like we still don't know who the villain of this is. Like I know Lex Luthor's in it, but
I think it's Brainiac.
Nicholas Hoult, the Lex Luthor, by the way, inspired casting.
Yes.
Made all the better that he was one of the finalists for Superman himself. I think the actor that playing Lex Luthor, also having almost played Superman, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what Luthor's deal is that he feels inferior.
Yep. It's very funny too, considering he was almost Batman as well.
Nicholas Hoult, yeah, he's like, here's the thing, I can see him as both. Holt has a darkness to him, but he also has that all-American goodness to him. You know what I mean?
Holt's got range. All of this ties into the Thunderbolts.
No, of course. Well, it's general comic book movie talk.
Right.
Point being, Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
No, I just, Thunderbolts looks great. I'm excited for it. I think all the Marvel movies next year are probably going to be good. I'm excited for some of the shows coming out next year. Joe, you should watch Echo. You'd like it.
I'll probably get.
You're excited for the Daredevil show, right?
I'll watch that.
That's probably going to be solid.
I was going to say that, like, I'll have some investment in, unlike everything else that'll come out after Deadpool and Wolverine. Because yeah, I still really fucking love Daredevil. I will watch anything with Daredevil in it.
No, for sure. I get that.
Like, Bullseye's gonna have his fucking costume in this next Daredevil thing. I'm really excited for that.
All right. Well, that's it for all the topics of news I have written down. And we've been going for an hour and a half now. So I'll just do the thing I do at the end of every show. Chat. Mr. Chat. The chat. Is there anything you'd like to hear Joe and I talk about that we haven't already covered or addressed today? Anything at all. I'll give you guys a minute to think. This is a good show. So I'm surprised we hit an hour and a half considering I actually had less news than normal.
It's because I just bring out the best in you. I can take us off topic, but also just keep us on
No,
topic.
Joe, legitimately, you are a great co-host for this.
Thank you.
I need to get you on here more often.
Yeah.
No offense to Tim and Austin, the other guys who have co-hosted this with me, but you and I, surprisingly, I think have had the best balance so far.
More than fair. And I love you guys, Tim and Austin. I think you guys are good hosts too.
Yeah. And also, I think it's really funny that you've taken a step back, but you've been in so much stuff since taking a step back.
Yeah, well, it's like, here's the thing with, like, the weekly podcast and, like, having my job and just other stuff that's, like, going on. I want to have, like, a bit of a life, and I also kind of want to do my own stuff with the channel. And it's just getting really hard to balance a lot of the stuff, so I had to take one thing away.
Yeah, that video essay stuff still coming?
Yeah, eventually it is. I'm still trying to iron out a lot of it.
That's fine. As long as it's coming.
And I'm also getting ideas for scripts again.
Please, that's so reassuring. I told you. You told me I was wrong, and I said you're gonna get bit by that bug again. Yep. And I told you that for years.
With that said, you're also the guy that says filmmaking in me. It's like it's Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin.
It's just always calling to you. It calls. That's what you and I are, Joe. It's always going to call to us like that.
I need to put a camera in a chair.
That's what we are, Joe. Freaks.
I need to put a camera in a chair and just recreate the scene of Norman Osborn in the fireplace.
That'd be a good bit. All right. We have something from chat. What's our favorite amphibian? I'm going to say it. I'm a frog guy. Red-eyed tree frog. That's a good one. That's good amphibian.
I mean, I like Kermit the Frog, but let's see.
Kermit the Frog here. It was bad, but that's probably the best one I've ever done of Kermit. Kermit is deceptively hard to do as an impression, I think.
Yeah, he is kind of hard.
Okay, show off. Fuck off, you motherfucker. Eat my ass.
Amphibians. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this. But they look like little salamander things. It's axolotl, I think. Hold on here.
Listen, man, I don't want to hear about what you're doing on your personal time. That's between you and the Lord.
I'm gonna go to Google.
His ass is Googling it. Yes, Bomb Squad Productions, home of frog talk.
Axolotl. Okay, I got it right. But they look like little salamander things. It's AXOLOTL. You can Google it.
I believe you.
But my Tommy gun don't.
I believe you.
Believe you. Someone had to. Someone referenced Home Alone 2 in the chat earlier. I had to, of course, reference Home Alone 2 myself.
Nobody referenced Home Alone 2 in the chat. I brought that up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, all right, well, someone brought up Trump winning the election, and then I went, I can tie this up. Yes, I almost said erection. Leave me alone.
I know, but it's still funny.
Nobody's perfect. God.
I know, but it's still funny.
Trump won the erection. Of course he won the erection. He's the one with the penis. I mean...
Chat, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so. I think it's only Rain active in the chat right now. This is a good show. Well, we made money for the first time on one of these shows. I don't know how much money, but oh, hold on. What X-Men characters need a solo movie next?
Oh God.
Give us the Channing Tatum Gambit movie. We need it.
I think that is going to happen.
Please. He earned it, especially after Deadpool and Wolverine. He earned it.
Yeah, he fucking earned it. Give it to Gambit.
My coworker who's from Louisiana says it's the most accurate Cajun accent he's ever heard. Like of that type of Louisiana accent, he said it's the most accurate he's ever heard. And good. Because you know what? He needs a movie because he's sure as shit shot out of his daddy's dick ready. Woo! You know how long I've been waiting for this? I'm going to make a name for myself here.
I don't think you guys walk out of this alive.
So good. So good. Yeah, but also, God, it's fucking insane they put Channing Tatum Gambit in because only losers like you and I are going to get that joke.
Oh, I was going ape shit in the theater for the employee screening.
But also, like, half the people there are like, huh?
I had one of my managers lean over. He's like, "Who is that?"
Correct response. He literally wasn't even ever in a movie.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I feel bad for not knowing. Like, don't. Like, nobody knew this except for stupid nerds like me.
Like, we are losers that kept up with movie news as teenagers.
Yeah.
All right, well, unless chat has anything else, giving it a minute.
I'll pull some stuff up to talk about. We both saw Heretic recently.
Yeah, good. I mean, we can end the show unless chat wants something more.
Give him a second.
I'm giving him a second. Heretic was good. I liked Heretic. As a horror movie, it's so-so. As a discussion of themes of philosophical theology, I found it incredibly fascinating.
I absolutely am on the same page with you. I think the last 20 minutes is where it kind of starts to lose me a bit.
Oh, because it kind of hammers its point home a little aggressively, but again, just like The first hour of theological discussion won me over so hard.
Yeah, like that's also just the point where it starts to become more of a horror movie than like the wordy discussion of like theology.
It's
That like
crazy
the
to
rest of the
think
movie
the
was.
guys that made 65 made this.
Yeah, the guys that made that crappy Adam Driver dinosaur movie made this.
I saw that at the Alamo. 65 movie. It was a movie.
Biggest waste of potential ever.
Produced by Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
All right. Well, chat looks like it's done, so let's end this here. That's it for this episode of Jump Cuts. Thank you so much for tuning in live on Twitch. If you're watching live on Twitch, we really appreciate it. Give us a follow if you haven't already. If you are watching this on YouTube or on Spotify the next day, if you're listening to it, thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate you tuning in. This show is a big passion project of mine, and it means a lot to me that people tune in week after week, every 2 weeks for this. I'm excited that this has been a decent success. I have no plans of stopping. I've been wanting to do a movie news show for a long time, and I'm glad we're finally regularly doing it. So thank you for listening. Leave a review. Mosey on down over to our Patreon for some special rewards. If you subscribe to our $5 tier, you get access to commentary tracks. Joe, Rain, and I just recorded one for the SpongeBob movie, which is going to tie into a SpongeBob video coming out later this month. Yep. Don't say what that is. It's a surprise. But we're also recording one for a series of unfortunate events tomorrow.
That's what I was about to say. Is that was one of my suggestions.
Yeah, Joe's very excited for that one. And Joe, I'm going to say this in the commentary track too, but I think I'll let you know right now. I've never actually seen it before.
You've never actually seen it?
No, this is going to be a first watch for me. So that should be interesting.
Okay, yeah, this will be interesting.
That should be interesting. I'm excited to check it out.
Part of me is like wanting to tell you to watch it beforehand, but also at the same time, kind of want to see your first reaction to it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait until I actually watch it on the recording, because I think that'll be more interesting.
Okay.
So the $5 tier gets you access to these commentary tracks. The $10 tier gets you a shout out. So Mr. Jason Secord, one of our biggest supporters. Haven't seen him in the comments a while, but I'm sure he's just living a busy life. We appreciate him. Thank you so much for your continued support. And my mom, Tanya Kraft, also on our $10 tier. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support as always. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Go down to the comment section below and let me know. Which of the 2 Marvel movie trailers do you think is interesting? What's your favorite Tony Todd movie? Are you excited for Conan Bryan to host the next Oscars? Does Rachel Zegler look like she knows what an iPhone is? And finally, should we give Simon Kinberg another shot of adapting Dark Phoenix? Surely the third time's the charm. Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon so you can know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."